Hello family, welcome back to Miray Forex channel. So this is a continuation from the last video which talked about market analysis and profitable strategy to trade the right way. So this is a part 2. If you've not gone through it, I advise you go through it before you watch this, because it will make you understand properly, because it's just a continuation of the video. Okay, so we talked about market analysis in the last video, and we also covered a part of strategy to trade. Like I said, I use Miray Snip Strategy as my mother strategy, and it's divided into two: Miray T-zone strategy and Miray Entry Strategy. So we covered the Miray T-zone strategy last, so this video is for Miray Entry Strategy. So I'm just going to go over Miray T-zone strategy again. Miray T-zone strategy is a strategy you use to get your turning zone or turning point once you have known the trend of the market and known the opportunity you're looking for, if it's buy or sell. So you apply Miray T-zone strategy to get your turning point, and once the market gets into your turning point, you apply Miray Entry Strategy. So let's get down to the chart. All right, so I'll be using this particular example for the Miray Entry Strategy. Like I said, the Miray Entry Strategy works only after price have gotten into the T-zone. So once price enters your T-zone, you don't just jump in, you wait for confirmation in lower time frame. So this is 1 hour time frame. Obviously, it's not a lower time frame, it's still under the medium time frame. This is what I used to maybe watch the chart or something. You can see the market has gotten into the zone here, but I was not active enough to follow along. But I'll use this example as buy opportunity, and I'll use this as sell opportunity. So I'll be scaling down to lower time frame now. So this is 1 hour time frame. Like I said, per candle here is formed with 1 hour. So if I scale down to lower time frame, I actually like using 3 minutes. So the lower time frame is 1 minute to 5 minutes. So you see the move here. How this move is very short on 1 hour time frame, you see the difference on a lower time frame, so that you would understand how the time frame works. It is the same move, just different chart view. All right, family, so this is one of the lower time frame I talked about, 3 minute time frame. So you can see that it's same move, just a different chart view. So the lower time frame is very noisy and more detailed compared to the medium time frame or the higher time frame. So like I said, different time frames with their different functions. The higher time frame is for getting the bias of the market and trend, also to analyze and know where the market is headed. All right, so then we move down to the medium time frame, which is to get reversal zones and wait for market to get into it. So once the market gets into the zone, which is this zone right here, we then look for entry opportunity by going down to the lower time frame. So for 1 hour candle, it takes 1 hour to form, but this is a lower time frame, which is 3 minute time frame. So for 1 hour candle to form, it can take about 20 candles of this. So the same move, but this is 20 candles to form 1 hour candle. Do you understand? So you need to understand and be familiar with time frame properly. So I use the 3 minutes to 5 minutes particularly to get my entry opportunity depending on the move I am going for. All right, so once price gets into your T zone, you don't just jump in, you wait for confirmation in lower time frame. So this is where precision matters. I teach my students to look for price action patterns as confirmation, and one of the biggest signal I use is break of structure to the opposite direction, and this shows that the market is rejecting the current move and about to reverse. So I also use the trend line breaks. I wait for clean break of well expected trend lines as further confirmations. I use other confluence signals also, like candlestick patterns, small liquidity grabs, and retest. So this method helps you avoid fake moves and give you confidence in your trading. So let's identify this turning point. Now, once the market gets into the zone, the first thing I want to identify is price action pattern. And how to identify the proper turning point zone is to identify the last high that formed and then either the last low or the next low. This is the last high that formed, and this was the last low that formed before the high. right? Also, if this is not visible enough, that is why you include the next low, but you will get the same opportunity for both. So for sell opportunity now, what you want the market to do is break the low to ensure that it is breaking the low and no longer buying. It breaks the low and form a lower high. This was the low which I identified as the next low, and this was the high which I identified. So let's pick those first. I will use this low as well, but I want to use the first low that form, which is the next low. All right, so once we draw our line, you can use your trend line to do this. Once you draw your line, what you are waiting for the market to do is break below, and once it breaks below, it should retrace inside. Now once it retraces inside, it should not come above and tap out this high. Once you tap out this high becomes invalid. Let me go again. Once you draw your trend line at the low and the high, which is this zone here, I'm waiting for the market to break below and retrace inside. So I don't want the market to retrace and tap out the high. Once it tap out the high, it shows this is not the last high. So that's why this high becomes invalid. So the next high will be the high that formed, and also the next low or the last low. So that's how to identify proper turning point. So let's just use this as a practical. You can see the market tap it out a little bit here and retrace inside. So this is your first turning point, which is your first entry opportunity. So this is what the market did. The market break below here and retrace inside, which is our entry opportunity. So if you're taking your entry here, your stop loss should either be above here or above here. Now, the market does three things if it really wants to turn at this zone. And listen carefully, the market does three things. It's either a break below and retrace exactly at the zone, which is support turning resistance. This can be opportunity to sell. Then the market will continue selling. Or the market will break below and retrace inside, which is what the market did. This is another opportunity to sell. This is two. The third one is the market breaking below and doing a double top, which is another opportunity for you to take in your entry. So once you are able to spot these confirmations, entry becomes easy for you. Trust me, it's not hard to identify once you know how to. So let me explain again. What you are waiting for the market to do is break below and retrace at the zone where you draw your last low or the next low for you to take in your entry opportunity, or it breaks below and retrace inside, which is also another opportunity for you to take in your sell, or it breaks below and go and do a double top, which is also another opportunity for you to sell. So if you're able to spot these moves, taking entry opportunity becomes easier. So if you miss this move and you're not able to sell here, there is always opportunity for you to take in entry. Like I told you, there is a lower high, lower low, which is sell opportunity. So we just wait for another lower high to form. So if you're missing this zone here, another opportunity for you to sell is lower highs. So this is another lower high. We took out these highs, right? Which is your small liquidity grab. This is an opportunity to sell. Also, if you miss this, this is another opportunity to sell. So these are the opportunities to take in sales if you were meant to catch these turning points. Now, once you take in your entry, your stop loss should be either above here or above here, and you are good to go. So as you can see, as we take our entry here, the market started selling and it sold for a long time. So let's go down to the other opportunity, which is buy opportunity. All right, so this is the buy opportunity which I want to use. I couldn't take this trade because of I wasn't active on the chart, but this is just the perfect example for buy opportunity as well. Applying T-zone strategy, obviously waiting for the market to get into the zone and reverse. That's exactly what happened here. The T-zone strategy is actually very accurate, given that there are a lot of confluence added from order block to support and resistance to liquidity and the likes. So once I draw my zone, I'm expecting the market to react there, or it break through and do not expect it. So one of the two must happen. And if the market is reacting there, it will show me patterns that it is changing trend. So that is just what Miray Entry Strategy is all about. You just identify those patterns. If you're able to identify those patterns that the market is buying already, you buy along. And obviously, if you have the mentality that if you're buying, you buy at higher lows, if you're selling, you sell at lower highs, that also helps your entry. Okay, so let's use this as an example. The market got into the zone, and I don't know what the market wants to do yet. So what I have to do is I draw my line at the last low, which was formed, and also the last high or the next high, like I said. So this is the visible high and this is the visible low. So once I draw my line at the last low and also the last high, I wait for market to break through, just opposite of sell. I wait for market to break through above, and once it breaks through above, it retrace either inside the zone. Okay, this is a perfect example for what I was explaining for sell. So once the market breaks through, it either reverse inside the zone between the two trend line drawn, comes down to do a double bottom opposite of the double top, right? It is also an opportunity to buy. If it had done a double bottom, I would have bought still here. That's not what the market did. Also, the market can choose to break through and retrace inside the zone, which is another opportunity for me to buy. So if that also does not happen, the third one which is possible is the market breaking through and retracing at the line drawn. So that's exactly what happened here, which should be my opportunity to take in entry. So that's exactly what the market had done. So if I was following this particular trade, I should have made my entry at this zone, given that the market broke it above and retraced back to the zone, right? This is my entry opportunity right here. So after the bullish, I should take market execution. It is quite simple. The entry strategy is like one of the simplest. Once you've done the major things by identifying your zones or your reversal zones, the T zones, the entry strategy is just you waiting for market to react, add a little bit of confluence, and take in your market entry. Okay, so if I was meant to take in market entry here, this should be where I would have taken my market entry, and my stop loss should be below here, and I will just drag my take profit to wherever I want it to be. So how to set stop loss and take profit is another thing you need to learn. Now let me give an instance. So for buy opportunity, my take profit should be at strong lower highs, and for sell opportunity, my take profit should be at strong higher highs. Do you get me? So that's just how to identify. So this is strong lower highs, which should be my first take profit. If I am entering more than one position, I can leave the rest to run in profitable. But this is exactly how to apply Miray Entry Strategy. It's nothing complex at all. You just have to know how it works. Okay, so this method helps you avoid fake moves and give you confidence in your entry. So this isn't something you will master in one sitting. Trust me, these methods need to be studied, practiced, and refined to understand better. So if you really want to know how to apply them step by step, you can reach out to me for more details, for more explanation or more teaching, and along the line I will drop more teaching on YouTube here. So this was the two examples which I used for sell and buy opportunity. So you can see how full the market was on lower time frame, which is 3 minutes. You can see the same move for sell opportunity, which I showed you. This is the same move for higher time frame. You can see the proper view of the chart. So let me mark out my take profit. This is the first take profit. Like I said, I use for buy opportunity, I use strong lower highs. This is the first strong lower high. This is another strong lower high. This is another strong lower high, just on and on, depending on how many positions I take. So if you're seeing this, you would see that take profit 1 was hit, take profit 2 was hit, and take profit 3 was also hit. So you can see the market is also still going. If I was meant to still have another take profit, I can use either this or I use this as my take profit. Alright family, so this is the same move on a higher time frame. 1 hour, I was showing you on 30 minutes earlier, but this is the more updated chart. You can see the market current movement. The market has run and hit full take profit. We're expecting the strategy. Let me give you, or let me put you through the process of taking a trade. Let me show you how I put this in practice. So before anything, I pray for guidance and clarity. All right, so trading requires spiritual backings. It keeps you calm and confident. So the first thing I will do after doing that is I will identify the overall trend of the market on higher time frame, okay, which is between 4 hours to 24 hours for those doing short-term trading and intraday trading. Then I move down to step 2, which is I move to medium time frame, which is between 15 minutes to 2 hours, to draw my T-zone and mark out likely reversal area where price is meant to make reversal. So once I've done that, I move down to step 3, which is me waiting for price to enter my zone. So you can see how this is done step by step. After that, I move down to step 4, which is I drop to the lower time frame between 1 minute to 5 minutes for precise entry, which I just explained. Then I look for break of structure and trend line break as confirmation. I move down to step 5, which is obviously me executing my trade only when all rules and confirmations align. Then once I make my market execution, I immediately journal my trade to track my reason for entry, risks, lessons, and the likes. So if you follow this structured approach, you would see real improvement in your trading, trust me. So if you have any question about this, feel free to reach out to me, and my team would take our time to answer and guide you. And also, if you want to join Miray Forex mentorship or subscribe to our private signals, you can just send me a direct message, okay? I offer free mentorship packages and also beginners and private mentorship, okay? So let's build your trading journey the right way.